Hey everybody, it's your boy Mark.
Hello.
Gobo's still missing this week, so we brought back Major Tom. Uh this is week 4 of NFL, which neither one of us are in right now, oddly enough.
No.
Um, but plenty of you are, and we'll talk about it, and we'll make you feel probably worse. That's okay. Let's start off with some news. How about it? All right. Gobo's not here to talk about Colorado, so I'm going to throw this at you. Colorado, I've described as the fake ID card. They are not 21. They're posing as 21-year-olds in a league where everyone else is 21 and have actual IDs. However, and this is so weird. And me and my brother Dane Michael talked about this via text. Colorado on September 21st beats Baylor in Colorado, mind you, in overtime. It was a wild game to get to overtime, a wild game. Now, neither one of these teams is ranked, and I've never seen this in my life, Tom. The fans stormed the field after they beat Baylor in overtime, and they tore down the goalposts. What in the hell is going on in Colorado and this football?
Uh, they're just overly enthusiastic to be back in the Big 12. Maybe that's it. Oh, never mind that Baylor was never a Big 8 or a Big 12 team when Colorado was in there, but that's beside the point. Maybe it's a Colorado Texas thing.
I have no explanation for this. Thousands of people storm the field and tear down the goalposts as if it was the championship of the world against Baylor, an unranked team in your third game of the season.
Yeah, doesn't make any sense. Dion's just got them all cranked up.
All right. I don't even want to talk about I don't even want to talk about him anymore. I wish Gobo was here to explain what the hell that was.
Yeah.
But
Well,
we'll talk.
maybe they'll do it again this weekend.
No, I mean, who do they play this weekend? They play UCF at UCF.
Oh, yeah, they probably UCF is a good team. They won't beat them.
Uh yeah, we'll see. It's a 2:30 game on the 28th. So we'll see. All right, more news. Actual news that matters, not this college football crapola. All right. We talked about this a little bit on the uh recap show, but I want to bring up to you and talk in depth about the Aaron Rodgers, Mike Sola dynamic. We saw it, excuse me, we saw it on Thursday Night Football. Aaron Rodgers describes it as we have this thing where I didn't know that he was a hugger and he came in to hug me, and we have this thing where we push each other. No, you don't.
No,
No
no.
one has a thing where they push each other. But he says this. He goes, and you can this part's true. What he said, and you can read his lips. He says, "2 score lead," and then he gives him the look of death.
Death. Yeah.
That's like I effing hate everything about your existence. Was the look that
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers gave that guy? Do you I mean, what do you see here? Do these guys
Oh,
like each other?
no, they don't like each other. And I think it's just Aaron Rodgers being Aaron Rodgers. We've seen this before. And for whatever reason, he thinks he knows more than the coaches. He thinks he knows more than the front office. He knows more than Dr. Fauci. He knows more than anybody about hallucinogens. He's just a dick. And and this is it coming through yet again. Apparently, there was some kind of a conversation about a two score lead. Who knows? But and I'm just calling bullshit on the whole thing. He was pissed. He was, he could have just as well went there and said, stick it up your ass. I mean, that's what it looked like. And yeah,
Mike Soul is powerless. You can't
absolutely.
you can't bench him.
Yeah,
Like here, this is what I'd like to see. First of all, I can't believe that he's had four consecutive losing seasons and enters his fifth season as a head coach for a football team.
yeah,
That doesn't make sense to me. Okay. Uh, I get it if it was just last year when you lost your prize quarterback in the first four plays of the game. I get that. But he's back now. And this is what I would love to see. I would love to see Aaron Rodgers with a coach like Mike Holmgren, who isn't going to tolerate any of
no,
this shit.
exactly,
He would
exactly.
he would be like, kid's a punk. I don't like him. The organization put him here. So as long as I can tolerate him and I don't think there's anyone better, he's gonna play, but he ain't gonna say shit about me and I ain't gonna say shit to him.
Yeah,
Do your job or you're out of here.
or
Man, I'd
yeah,
love to see it.
yeah.
I hate Aaron Rodgers. I'm sorry, I never hated the Jets until Aaron Rodgers joined it. And the minute that he was gone from the Packers, you and I became friends again. I
Well,
mean,
but it was just especially the last few years because he has definitely gotten worse as he spent more
oh,
time
and
in the
it,
time
yeah,
in the league.
the moment I
Absolutely.
started hating him was like I just kind of hate him. And now like just watching him after a play, he's so smug, but he's
Yeah.
good. That's the thing. Like if he was awful, I could revel in it and be like, haha, you suck. But he's good. I mean, he's actually playing really well. And
Yeah.
I gotta give him that. But like we can see it. You don't need to like relay to us that you're playing well. Just shut up
Well,
and play
and
football.
I'm of a even an older generation than you where uh you know being what's the word I want to use? Humble is the wrong word, but being confident and not having to be a dick about it to everybody. If you know you're good, and you don't need anything more. And boy, he's not that. So anyway,
So, all right. This might not affect you. I don't know how much you watched or not, but my question is, what do you think of these Monday night doubleheaders where there's two games? I mean,
I
Monday
don't
night
like him.
was set up so that you can watch a game, and that was the focus of your attention. Because Sunday, here's my problem. I got to talk about all these games, and I cover all these games, and even with the NFL Network or the channel with all the games on it, I can never remember it when it comes time to. And then I'm always like, why didn't I just say the name of it? Um, and it's still, I don't feel like I've watched anything when I'm just watching eight games at once, only when they're about to score. So the fact that they're taking this, and I realize it's not all year, and I'm thankful for that, but we're doing it again this week. We got two Monday night games, and one of them's my actual game, and I feel like I'm being robbed of at least a half of a game that
Yeah, I don't like it, and we're not to the point of oversaturation yet. The NFL is so popular and it has such a following, and you still got so many cities wanting franchises if they ever expand the league. But it is on in prime time 3 nights a week now. And then later on in the season, we started having Saturday games and Sunday games and nighttime games on Saturday and Sunday and Monday and Thursday. And at some point, I mean, I look at hockey, okay? The hockey season's too damn long. We're still playing Stanley Cup finals in June. We got the Super Bowl being played, what, the second week in February now? And they're talking about taking the regular season to 18 weeks instead of 17. I don't know. I think we're rapidly getting to the point where it's just too much of a good thing. We'll
Well,
see. They're making it
that's
work
just,
so far,
that's
but
where you and I disagree. This is like
okay.
much like the designated hitter rule in baseball. We're never going to see eye to
I
eye,
hate it.
and I hate your opinion on it. But there, you can't have too much of a good product. Like this is awesome. If they go to 18 games, they're going to take away one of the preseason games, which no one gives a shit about. But here's the problem. You're going to end up with more injuries and you're not going
Yeah.
to complete rosters when the playoffs, when the most exciting time in football comes along, you're going to have depleted rosters. That's all there is to it. And you're going to have to eliminate players faster from camp than the 3 weeks that there are now in 2 weeks. I mean, it's going to be hard. And the players, I don't think want to do it. I don't think they're like, this is enough. 17 feels weird though, because
Well,
you either have 9 home games or 9 away games, and some teams don't get 9 home games. It's a problem. I mean,
I got a question for you. Have we had a team in the playoffs with a losing record on the season yet? I don't think we have we?
yeah, Seattle did it in 2009.
Okay. All right.
Beat the defending Super Bowl champion Saints when Marshawn Lynch ran for 67 yards and the
Well,
touchdown where he grabbed his crotch.
I would say that being at 17 weeks, we're going to see that again. And if you go to 18, you're definitely going to see teams with losing records get in the playoffs. Now, what the fuck is up with that? That's ridiculous.
Here's my thing on that. I don't blame the team. I blame the other teams. Blame the other teams that didn't win enough. I mean, if you got that many bad teams, well, let me
It would
it's
imply
hard
that
for
you
me to agree with your perspective when the one example we have is Seattle
is
taking
Seattle.
out the Super Bowl champion from the previous year.
Well, and I may feel differently if the Packers get in with an 8-9 record this year, you
You know
know.
what your argument, and I know that you don't know this as well as I do, which is why you didn't make this point. But New Orleans had to come to Seattle, who had a losing record, because they were the wild card team, and
And
Seattle
with
was
the division title.
yeah. So
And that's
yeah,
BS too.
that in itself causes a problem. But yeah, I mean, I understand. Nobody wants to watch losers play in the playoffs. I get that, and for the most part, teams don't. But it has happened.
Right.
You're right. If we go to 18 games, perhaps that will happen. But I'm more worried about the players injured.
Yeah. And that,
I'm more the
yeah.
team beating the most. So anyway,
And I agree. The players are likely to not go for this.
yeah. Let us
It'd have
know
to
in
be
the comments what
yeah,
you guys think about these doubleheader Monday night football games.
I don't like them.
Want to know? I want to know. All right, Brett Favre announces that he has Parkinson's disease. You're a lifelong Packers fan, so I'll let you take the wheel on this one.
Well, I know a little bit about Parkinson's. I've got it in my family. It's actually in my genetics, as something that might happen down the road with regard to me or my brother or sister. Um, but what he's being told is that it's traumatic brain injury that is led to his Parkinson's diagnosis. Um, he decided not to let his own kid play football because of the risks involved, and so I think this is going to be a continuing issue with the game and with the league. I mean, I've got a grandson who plays football, who loves football. I had kids who played football and hockey, and you worry about these things. But I'm actually not surprised to hear this. Every sport's got injury issues. With football, it's head injuries for sure.
Yeah, my greatest sympathies to Brett Favre, but I really don't like that he's using it as basically a way to take the focus away from him being a complete asshole.
Oh, no, I agree with that totally. I totally agree with that. I mean, there was a congressional hearing on money that basically he was involved in. And but in fairness to him, I will also say this. It's the state of Mississippi and the state government and the administration of state programs looks to me to be pretty rotten to the core. And he is just one of many, many, many people who are working the system to get dollars that should be going to people who deserve them a hell of a lot more. So,
Okay, let's again, deepest sympathies, Brett.
yes.
Shit together though.
Yeah, get your shit
Um,
together.
all right. I wanted to, and I know I didn't prep you for this. Um, but I was gonna say NFL power rankings, top five. I think most of the country has Kansas City as number one. I don't. You're free to disagree with me, but I have Buffalo as number one.
Um, I'm going to disagree. I think it is KC.
Even though they
Uh,
could be one and two, or
even though,
three,
even
or
though
three if that foot is half an inch. I mean,
I
Buffalo
think
is dominating people.
I think the talent is there. I think they got the coach. I mean, Andy Reid is going to whip these guys into shape. I they've I mean, obviously they've had some stuff going on, but I still think that they're right there, and I would put Buffalo second.
Yeah. All right. So we're just who's number three?
Um, Number three, Minnesota.
We agree.
I think the Vikings. Um, Number four, um, Steelers.
Oh, we
And
disagree. I think it's the Lions.
it was a toss up for me between the Lions and the Steelers, and I think the Lions are number five.
So okay, so I have the Steelers.
Yeah, yeah.
Honorable mentions to the Eagles, the Pack,
Packers.
the Ravens, the Saints, the Seahawks, and
Yep.
then I'm stopping with the honorable mentions there because my victory
Did
candles,
it did it go out? Oh, it's still going.
it will never go out. 17-0, Tom. That's what we're on track for. 17-0. All right.
17-0.
So okay, that's our top five. Um, we have the same teams, they're just in different order. I will go through injuries real quick.
Okay.
Don't feel like you need to comment on these. Oh, I do want to say, Chargers Derwin James was suspended for one game without pay because he's a repeat offender. I mean, I had a hit on Pat Fairmouth, the tight end for the Steelers, that probably jarred his ancestors. Yes, I stole that from Rocky. Um, but after that, after his repeat offense, they're saying he's now becoming a detriment to the league in the way that he plays the game. So they're going to suspend him for one game without pay. And I assume that if he gets called for this targeting again, he'll be eliminated from the game that he's in, and then he'll probably be facing a 4-game suspension. He's going to unfortunately be the example of what's going to happen if you're a repeat offender on these types of plays. Because
Yep.
again, it's a violent game and they're trying to do everything they can. Although I did see a new rule that they had about this hip tossing, and I haven't seen it called once.
I haven't either.
So again, why make a
And
rule?
it's happening.
It's happening. I've seen
Absolutely
it.
happening. Yeah.
And if you're gonna grab a player and flip him over, I mean, I see it almost in every game, and I've not seen it
Yes.
called once. I'd be interested to see if it's actually been called this year. But anyway, all right, injuries. We got Skylar Thompson. Of course, he was injured for Miami, quarterback in the Seahawks game. It's a
Yep.
rib injury. He's day to day, assuming that he will play because they have not made yet a call to the Steelers to try and get Russell Wilson. Um, which we forgot to talk about in the other segment. We made all this to do about it, and then we forgot to talk about it. But if you're Miami, why are you not calling the Steelers? Honestly,
Yes, exactly.
get it done. Russell Wilson cannot be happy just sitting there knowing he lost his job to injury, and he could be throwing balls to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, who are the fastest players. And Russell still has a pretty deep ball. I mean, he might not be able to see over his offensive line, but who needs that? You got, and this worked for Patrick Mahomes for the first 2 years of his career too. He would run around the field and just chuck it.
Yes.
And Tyreek Hill would save the day.
Yep.
And everyone's like, "Oh, how great is Patrick Mahomes?" I mean, he's pretty good, but he got bailed out a lot by Tyreek.
Yes.
All right, the other one to note is Brock Purdy. He got back issues. The MRI came back clean, so he's again day to day. I expect him to play as well. And that is all we have for the news. So, you ready to make us some pickers?
Ready to roll.
All right, I'm not going to make you pick every time first this time.
All right.
Um, but I will let you have the first. I'll give you the first Thursday night game.
Dallas and New York.
Yeah, remember you guys check out our TikTok because we do have a correspondent for the New York Football Giants. G-Man Jess is back with us on TikTok. So look forward to those videos. What do you got?
Um,
Dallas
I got
at New York.
Dallas. I got Dallas by 2 touchdowns, 28-14. Um, and I'm probably giving the Giants too much credit here.
You think they won't get 14? I
I'll
have
I'll stick with it, but yeah,
I have Dallas 31-13, so I'm not quite as
you're close.
I'm not
Yeah.
quite as I don't see two touchdowns happening. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Although, let's talk about this. If it does happen, Malik Neighbors is the guy. That
Yeah.
guy he might be the one savior that they have. And I know we had this big thing about him unretiring number one from one of the greatest Giants players so that he could play without ever having played a game. They unretired number one for him. And well, he looks pretty damn good. And I expect that G-Man Jass will be jizzing about him all over the videos that you're going to see on TikTok. So just fair warning.
Let's hope not.
All right, we're both on Dallas. All right, this one I'll take first. I got New Orleans at Atlanta. All right, so I'm going to take. Here's the deal. We're in Atlanta. We're in week 4, so teams are starting to come into their own now. Atlanta's had toe-to-toe games every week, and I think they're on the rise. I'm still not convinced that Derek Carr is the guy, and I know what Kirk Cousins is capable, but I also know if Kirk Cousins goes down, they got Michael Penix Jr. sitting there waiting in the wings. And I just wish they would put together a package for him, much like New Orleans does for Taysom Hill. I mean, maybe he's not as dynamic, but you've got to have something. I mean, you drafted this kid in the top 10 to sit for 4 years behind Kirk Cousins. That
Yeah.
can't be the plan. That can't be the plan. So let's see it. Let's see it, Atlanta. I got Atlanta winning 21-20 in a close one against their division rival, the New Orleans Saints. What you got?
I'm going to take New Orleans, and
You
reluctantly so.
bastard.
I want, I really want Atlanta to win this game. I really do.
All right.
But I'm going to take New Orleans 27-24. New Orleans by a field goal.
I love it. We got adversity.
I still think,
All
yeah,
right, we're back to you on this one.
Cincinnati,
Cincinnati,
Carolina.
we've
I
got,
tell you what,
oh, dude.
if Cincinnati doesnn win this game, then there is no God.
Well, let me remind you here. Uh, they're going back to, and this is ancient history, my friend. They had, uh, God, who was before Joe Burrow? The guy in between Andy Dalton and
I
Joe
can't
Burrow.
remember.
Oh, it just hold on. We gotta Carson Palmer.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So big names quarterbacks in Cincinnati, but Andy Dalton playing against Cincinnati to for a chance to make them 0-4 and to make his team not the worst team in the NFL. I want to know, what do you got? What do you got here?
Um, I got Cincinnati.
Okay.
Um, just looking at both these teams, boy,
You're like
17-14.
17-14.
17-14 Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Who did you pick? Or you
Tommy,
got it, you got to pick.
if you ever wondered whatever became of me. I'm living on the air in
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati. They're gonna kick the crap out of the Carolina Panthers 28-24. So it's not an ass whooping, but I gave them that point because of Andy Dalton. If Bryce Young was there, it'd be a 3 or a 0.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, all right, we're both on Cincinnati. It's not
Yep.
exciting.
Yep.
But guess what? I'm not confident in this pick at all. This could be one of those wine pairings that we talk about. I don't,
Yes, it could. It could.
oil and water, man. We don't know. All right, here we go. I just want to tell you guys that Julio Rodriguez just homered in the Mariners,
Oh,
and that makes him the second player in the history of Major League Baseball to have a 2020 season for his first 3 seasons. The other is Bobby Witt Jr. So congratulations to both those men. 2020 is, of
good
course,
job, Julio.
20 stolen bases. When you look at Shohei Ohtani doing 30 more of each,
Yeah.
it kind of doesn't really feel like a big deal, but whatever. I wanted to mention it because I'm a homer.
You're a Mariners fan.
Yeah, I'm a homer. All right. This one's my pick. We got the
Yes.
Rams going into Chicago. Man, oh man. This is another one where I'm like, these are treacherous choices on either side. I don't know what to do. I'm just an American. I don't know what that means or why I said it, but
I'm just a girl.
so you know what? I put it on here. The Rams 23-19, but I'll be a goddamn lunatic happy if the Bears pull it out and put the Rams even further behind. Let's go Bears, but I picked the Rams.
I'm going to take the Rams too.
Okay.
Um, and I think it's going to be 2 touchdowns, 28-14. What did you say?
I said
23-19.
23-19. Rams. Rams. All right. This is your time to shine. You get to go first on your game. I'm going to pick the opposite of whatever you pick.
Well, um, I'm going to take the Packers by a field goal, but for only one reason. Uh, they're playing at Lambeau. And otherwise, if this game's in Minneapolis, the Vikings win it. Um, I just think that we're going to have Love back. I think we're going to have the running game's going to be fine. I think we pull it out with a field goal. Typically, these teams split 1-1. I mean, I can't tell you how many seasons they've split with one win apiece. I think this one's our turn. We win it at Lambeau by a field goal. Call it 24-21.
All right. Well, as you can see in front of you, I had chosen
Oh,
Green Bay
you're
by a
going to
field
change
goal,
that now?
31-28. And now I'm changing that to Minnesota
Based on what?
based on I hope Green Bay wins.
Oh, okay.
But I'm trying to be different.
Okay.
I don't want us to have the same.
I mean, it's a close thing. It's a
And I'm,
close
I'm
thing.
not
And
like, look, if they were playing Carolina, I wouldn't switch it just to switch it. Like
yeah,
when we come back to talk about this next week, one of us is gonna be like, "Ha, and yeah, we'll see. All right. So good one. All right. This game on the schedule looked awesome when the schedules came out. I'm talking, of course, Jacksonville at Houston. I don't like the score that I picked after watching uh, Jacksonville this week. But I picked 19-17 in favor of Houston. I
I'm
don't
going to
think,
take Houston. I'm
yeah.
going to take Houston 31-7. I think they blow them out.
So you are of the opinion that the Jacksonville Jaguars are just
Done.
done.
Stick a fork in them.
All right. All
We'll
right.
see.
Help. They clearly need help. Um, the Trevor Lawrence that we're seeing this year looks like a guy that got ruined. A guy that came out of college with a lot of promise,
Yep.
but coaching and or being in a bad situation has
We
just
talked about this last week too. How many of these players they end up getting ruined
yeah.
by the league when they come in. But that's another story.
All right. I'm up here. Pittsburgh at Indianapolis. Does Pittsburgh stay undefeated? Does AR elevate to what everyone thinks that he could be? Or does both happen at the same time? Uh Look, I hope Indianapolis wins this game because I want Pittsburgh to have some adversity. I'm still not over Super Bowl 40 100%. I do like Mike Tomlinson. And I like Russell Wilson there, but he ain't going to play unless some shit gets shaken up there. So I do have Pittsburgh winning 24-17, but in my heart of hearts, I'll be on the Indianapolis sideline cheering for the Colts. What you got?
Pittsburgh, Justin Fields has a great day. Um, 28-14. I don't think it's close.
Okay. Denver goes to the Jets. Why do they get such a terrible schedule? Because they were terrible last year. And now we get to watch them the majority of the time in prime time or against terrible teams. Go ahead.
Well, as much as it pains me, I'm going to take the Jets in this one. Um, 17-14. I don't think it'll be a high scoring affair.
Um, and again, I haven't watched it, but it just came in. G Midwest Jet has sent me his video for the week on this matchup, and it will be on TikTok. If you're watching this, you'll be able to watch that on our TikTok page. So go see what Midwest Jet has to say
I'll
about this
I'll
game.
throw I'll throw another one on. this one. I think Rodgers gets hurt in this game.
I got to put that in the
Yeah,
notes.
put that in the notes. I think he gets hurt in this game.
Tom, I think Rogers dies. We pass these notes back and forth to each other. Rogers will die in this game. Okay, well,
I don't know. I just have this feeling that the Jets offensive line is going to have a bad day.
well, they can't like him. They can't enjoy protecting him.
No.
In fact, the moment he gives them one sly comment, I just be like, I'm gonna I'd be like, hey guy, take my left side and just crush the shit out of him, please.
Yeah, exactly.
I could see that happening. Um,
It's like
anyway, I got the
I'm
Jets.
I'm going opposite.
I got the Jets 27-15. I fully expect them to. I'm very confident in that pick. All right.
Yeah.
Philly at Tampa. Dude, this schedule was designed exactly to follow up what happened last week. I don't know how the NFL does this with these games, but they're like, whatever the freakiest outcomes were the week before, they pit these teams against each other the next week, and they somehow have a magic ball to tell them exactly how to schedule these games. Philly at Tampa? Really? I have no idea. I have no idea. I mean, I've watched these teams for 3 weeks now, and I have no idea. I picked Philly on the road, uh 22-16, only because I don't know that you can lose to the whoever they lost. Who'd they lose to last week? Come on. Denver? Yeah, I don't know how
Denver.
they could
Yeah.
lose to Denver at home and not lose to Philly at home. I don't know how that. So that's my reasoning.
So I'm going to take Tampa. I think the loss to Denver was a fluke. I think they win. Um, I don't know, call it 28-21.
Yeah.
I think they get it back.
All right.
I'm just not sold on Philly,
Here's another one,
even
man.
though they beat my Packers.
Here's another one. Washington at Arizona. Like, how, I'm glad you have to call this one first.
I'm gonna take the Commanders.
Okay.
I think Washington is showing some stuff and sticking with what I said in the previous show. They may end up in the mix of things by the time the end of the year comes around here. So I'll take them by a field goal. I'll call it or 4 points, 21-17. Excuse me.
I also have Washington 23-20. And again, I look, I don't know. I don't know how to analyze this game. I have Kyler Murray, who's been in the league for a number of years now, and he seems to be clicking with his coach. Finally, they were at odds a lot of last year because he was hurt, and the coach seemed to like not care if he was coming back at all. So we wondered if he was even going to be with Arizona. Then they drafted Marvin Harrison Jr. Didn't do shit week one. Completely lit up the board in week two. Shit the bed in week three, and now we don't know. We don't know. And Washington has been dicey up until this last week, where they completely dominated their game against Cincinnati. So, what do you do? What do you do? I don't know. Um, I picked Washington 23-20. So that's it.
That's it.
That is it. All right. This one seems fairly simple. Is it my turn or your
It
turn? My
is
turn.
your turn.
All right. New England comes all the way across the country to San Francisco. Well, it's a long flight. They actually get hours back, so it's not really going to affect their sleep patterns or anything weird like that. Um, San Francisco's still banged up, which gives anybody a chance against them, as we've seen these first 3 weeks. They're very exploitable. If Belichick was on the sidelines coaching New England this year, I might pick New England because I just think that he's good at defining weaknesses and exploiting them. Jared Mayo, I don't know anything about. Jacoby Brissett is not as good as Brock Purdy. I'll say it. Drake May came in late in the game last week just so that he could get sacked a bunch of times.
Yep.
That's not healthy for a quarterback that's just learning the league. You got to be able to protect him if you're going to bring him in. I'm going San Francisco 24-9.
I'll take San Francisco also. Despite the fact that I do think there's some issues there. Besides just the injury situation that they have. I don't think New England's going to be a match for them at all. I'm going to take San Francisco by 28-7.
All right. Make it so. All right.
What's up
Kansas
next?
City. Kansas City goes to the Chargers in Los Angeles. I really want to say 1-2 Kansas City goes into 1-2 Chargers, but I can't because officiating has dictated otherwise. I still don't think it's that close. Even if both teams were 1-2, Kansas City is a much better team. While I don't think they're the number one power, I do think that they're a better team than the Chargers. And if I see I'm going to go absolutely bonkers if I see another play like that at the end of the game. But hopefully it won't matter because I've got them up by 2 touchdowns, 34-20, Kansas City.
I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think San Diego, or the Chargers, Los Angeles Chargers, I think they hand KC their first defeat. Uh, Everybody's going to lose some games this year. I think this is where KC gets it. Um, Close, but call it 28-25.
Do you ever notice whenever Patrick Mahomes throws an interception, it gets called back? That's another thing that annoys me.
I guess I hadn't noticed that.
Oh no, it was holding on the defense.
Taylor Swift, baby.
You know what? If you want Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl, just give her a fucking box. She can
Make
afford it.
make her the halftime show.
Yeah, she can afford it. God
Uh,
dang. All right. I like that pick, by the way. Because I'm gonna gain a game on you. That's why I like it. All right.
well, you'll also like it because when they win, then Kansas City will have their first loss. So
Well, yeah, see, win-win.
win-win.
I'm fine either way. And I'm not a KC hater. All
I'm
right.
not either.
KC
I'm not
hater
either. Not at
because
all.
it's because it seems like there's favoritism in the league on that, and I don't like that. I wouldn't like it if it was Seattle was getting wins because of these calls. I don't feel good about going and reading. You as Chiefs fan, I know that you're not reading because you can't, but if you could, and you went on these forums and you saw everybody saying that you only won because that would be disturbing to you. So maybe, yeah, maybe you're okay because you're not reading those things.
Here's why I picked the Chargers. I do firmly believe nobody's going to go undefeated this year. Everybody's got to lose some games somewhere along the way. And what's the most likely time that the number one power team in the country is going to lose a game? It's going to be against a division rival when no one's expecting it. And that's how I came up with that. This is the way these things work. I mean, how many times did did before Detroit was good, how many times did the Packers play Detroit and then just out of the fucking blue blow a game that they should have won by 2 touchdowns? So that's my rationale.
Yep. And we
It
saw
happens.
Matt Stafford do that a number of times. All right. Cleveland, dude, here's another one. Cleveland and Las Vegas. I don't know.
No one wants to see this game.
I have no idea. Will this be a sellout? Uh 1914 Vegas, the Raiders is what I got.
It's in Vegas.
Yeah. Vegas, baby, Vegas.
Man, 6-1, half dozen of the other. I'll just to be different, I'll take Cleveland.
Okay. Now you're talking. What's the score?
Cleveland, it's going to be close. 21-20. They
Ooh.
pull it out by a miracle.
Then it will be a fun game for the people that are there.
Yes.
All right, dude. Buffalo at Baltimore.
My pick,
Yeah, sure.
Buffalo.
Okay.
Buffalo wins this handily. 27-10.
27-10 Buff. I got Buffalo 31-21. Um, I'm not confident enough to switch it over. I don't have that much confidence in Baltimore. So I'm gonna stay with Buffalo. But I will tell you this next game, you've got reeling team versus reeling team. NFL scheduling, they're kind of brilliant. Other than these doubleheader Monday, this does not need to be a Monday night game, by the way.
No, no.
Um, please. It's
Yes.
two Sunday night games, fine. I've been watching multiple games on Sunday all day anyway. Monday night, just let me have the one game. I don't need this. But I'm gonna go. It's Tennessee versus Miami, just so everybody knows. And nobody's gonna watch this game. But those that do will see that Tennessee will prevail 19-17.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. This is a tough one. The Dolphins are really, really reeling. I'm going to take Tennessee as well. And you're right, it's going to be close. Call it yeah, 17-16.
It's in Miami, remember?
Yeah, 17-16 Tennessee.
They've got Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, remember?
Tennessee,
What's your score?
17-16. 17-16.
And you're on Tennessee.
I'm on Tennessee.
All right. All right.
The big one.
You got to pick this one first.
Well,
This is no, sorry. This is the
huh?
second Monday night game.
Yes.
Detroit
The game that everyone will be watching.
hosts Seattle. I think last time Seattle went into Detroit, same coaching staff, same quarterback. There were a couple additions of some great players on both sides. Seattle eked this out in overtime. Geno Smith was masterful in the overtime period, and Seattle eked it out. Thoughts?
My thoughts are that Gino got lucky last time. I think Detroit's going to win this.
So when you
Uh,
say Geno got lucky, what would you say if I told you that he had more fourth quarter comebacks than any other quarterback last season?
well, he's a lucky guy.
It's just luck, is it? All right.
Oh no, hey, I like Gino, and Seattle's defense is awesome. But they're really gonna, I think they're gonna get put to the test. I'm gonna go with the Lions in this, by a touchdown. Call it 24-17.
All right. So, couple concerns I have in this game. Aiden Hutchinson is going to be Defensive Player of the Year. Mark that now because it's going to happen. Uh, and I know that they have Jahmyr Gibbs that they drafted, but also the last time they went into overtime, the other team didn't get the ball because they had David Montgomery, who was
Yeah,
a bowling ball for the entirety of overtime. Jahmyr
former Iowa State running back, might I add.
Jahmyr Gibbs didn't touch the ball. But the fact that they have him and Montgomery, Sam Laporta, Amon-Ra St. Brown, they're just a Matthew Stafford away. And Matthew Stafford's certainly better than Geno Smith. I don't know that Jared Goff is. I've got this one in overtime again. Seattle sneaks out 34-31.
It's going to be a good game, I think.
I'm happy that everybody's healthy on their team.
Yeah.
I don't know that we'll have our running back Kenneth Walker, K9, which, gosh, Seattle cannot keep running backs. I mean, I thought it was a Pete Carroll era thing. It's transcended both regimes now. Um, and remember, Seattle's run defense was 31-30 in the last 2 years, and we're talking about two premier running backs on this team. A team that's 3-0 but has not really yet been tested. And the one running back New England had ran for 182 yards on us. So, I really don't know. I'm not confident in any of this, but I'm not going to pick against Seattle because I have no reason to. We haven't lost.
Right.
We haven't lost yet. And Gino led another fourth quarter comeback in the last game.
I think the keys in this one are going to be, can Detroit's defense get to Geno, and I think it's going to be determined by the defenses this game. Can Detroit's defense get to Geno, and I mean I'm not talking about coverage. I'm talking about getting through the line, and then on the other side of the ball, can Detroit stop anything? They're both good defenses. I think defense wins this game one way or the other.
I I would tend to agree with you. The one thing that I don't mind losing to a better team. I don't want to see us lose based on self-inflicted wounds, which
Yep.
we've been doing a lot in the first 3 weeks. That's it for NFL Week 4. I want to thank Major Tom and look at his hair. Look at his beautiful hair. He looks
Old
like
guy.
a coach. He looks like a coach that nobody listens to anymore.
That's right. That's exactly right. Hey, you know what? I got a whole bunch of kids and grandkids. I'm used to it.
So if you're smart, you'll side with me. Make your picks in the comments because we definitely want to be able to bring you up in the recap. Also, make sure you check out TikTok for all the new videos that are going up, including correspondence for all the different sports. We got baseball, we got soccer, we got hockey coming up, we got Caitlin Clark. Whatever you want to hear about, those videos are going to be available on our TikTok, and they're short. They're 2 minutes long. Give us a like, subscribe, share this. Everything in the everything helps the algorithm. The more you engage with our pages, the more people get to see them. And that only means good things for us. I will be honest with you, I can't keep doing this forever without any results. Like, it's fun to do, but it's also a lot of work. So if you appreciate the work and you want to see it continue, just give us a like. Even if you don't watch the video, even if you click watch and you walk away, anything helps. We appreciate you guys. And hopefully Gobo's back with us next week. Really
Yes.
give him some good thoughts. He just had a birthday this last week. Also, um, yeah, right now we're 1-1-1 with Tom's picks in there. That means we got 1 week each, and then we tied in week 2. So this will be a interesting week to see what happens here. And I do hope Aaron Rodgers dies. Okay, that's all we have.
All right.
Until next week. Thank you,
Later.
Major Tom.
All righty.